All right, in the home stretch before the election, Republicans have painted a disturbing picture of a potential Trump term. For one, it would elevate fringe anti-vaxxer Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to a key health role in his administration. The one-man misinformation machine credited with helping cause a measles outbreak that killed 83 people announced this week that Trump promised him control of public health agencies. Trump pumped up RFK Jr.'s role even more in a few rallies this week.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. we have. And he's going to work on health and women's health.
He's going to have a big role in healthcare, a very big role. He knows it better than anybody.
Again, Trump really gets women. After saying he'll protect them, whether the women like it or not, he is now tapping a dangerous anti-vaxxer to be in charge of women's health. According to a new report from Media Matters, RFK Jr. is also working with a conservative organization that wants to stop IVF, referring to it as evil and immoral. You know who should look into that? The father of IVF. Donald Trump. My panel is back with me. So what do you think? Elon Musk apparently. Sorry, not Elon Musk. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. apparently wants to ban fluoride now from all public water in the United States. But what do you make of the fact that he wants to put him in charge of women's health and children's health in this country?
It's putting the stupidest person in charge of some of the more. We just came out of a pandemic. Like, give us a break. But yeah, no, look, and Elon Musk had all these IVF kids, too. Yeah. So, I mean, the fetal personhood ban goes after IVF, and it makes it so that you really can't have IVF because IVF has these embryos that end up getting discarded. And if you believe an embryo should have the same rights as a fully grown child, which is what this ban says, which is what the idea behind it is, then you can't do IVF anymore. So you will ultimately have an IVF ban, which is totally insane. I mean, they're just giving up modern medicine because of religious beliefs.
And this is not an administration previously, the Trump administration, that was really hot on the science. I mean, they were working at the time during COVID with like some respected experts, right. Dr. Fauci and others. And, Trump was out there talking about injecting yourself with bleach. Now he wants to put an anti-vaxxer in charge of some of the most complex, potentially public health-related issues that our country could face.
These are unserious people.
Right.
I mean, there's no way around it. These are unserious people. But I think what is very interesting and cannot be underestimated is that they are finding a way to appeal to a particular part of the American electorate that they believe takes them very seriously. And Donald Trump does not win at this point or at any point during this campaign cycle by addition. He wins by subtraction. And so to whatever degree he is able to leverage the support that that Kennedy had among crazy anti-vaxxers in that crowd, or to energize them, he's going to take it regardless of the actual risk that the rhetoric poses, regardless of the actual consequences or what does or does not happen after he becomes president. He's willing to take it in order to get back because he has no other pathway to a victory.
And, Jason, I think it comes down to an issue of control and power. I mean, at the end of the day, we can kind of put aside the specifics of what IVF is and what it means for reproductive health in this country and families. But it's about government control. It's about government power and putting somebody as deranged as RFK Jr. somehow in charge of public health in this country. I'm hard-pressed to think that he would get confirmed by the Senate. But Donald Trump has shown a willingness to circumvent the procedures that are supposed to be part of the guardrails, right? You appoint someone, gets confirmed by the Senate. Donald Trump is happy to have acting officials run the government for us on a 210 daily basis, rotate them out, bring somebody in more extreme, do his bidding for him, and then just keep the cycle moving.
So I hate to say it, but as a theorist of fascism, this is fascinating because this is paint by numbers, both in the philosophy of fascism and the history. So Hannah Arendt says, in fascism is you have incompetence rewarded because it chooses loyalty over competence. This is stuff I grew up reading in philosophy classes, but to watch it in real time. So Arendt, all the literature on when you prize loyalty as your primary thing, especially as you get more and more unhinged and loyalists have to be more and more extreme, we're going to see an incredibly incompetent administration. And all fascist administrations, this kind of anti-expertise authoritarianism, always is deeply incompetent and kind of wild in its flailing. And that's what we're seeing. That is exactly what you see when loyalty trumps competence, and that's what we're going to see in the Commerce Department. In every federal agency, we're going to see people who believe the 2020 election was stolen making decisions for the American people, and those decisions are going to be unhinged.
Speaking of rewarding loyalty, Molly, I want you to take a listen to Elon Musk, who Donald Trump, again, has promised a role in his future administration if he is reelected in I don't know what the name of the government agency is, Government Efficiency Agency or something along those lines. But take a listen to Elon Musk.
We have to reduce spending to live within our means. That necessarily involves some temporary hardship, but it will ensure long-term prosperity.
Temporary hardship. Quite the closing message there from Elon Musk in serving under Donald Trump.
Well, we heard Mike Johnson say, too, that Obamacare needs to be reformed. Right. Like, you know what that means? That means taken away. Look, the irony here with Elon, I mean, this is a guy who got rich on government subsidies for climate. Now it's like we now need to cut your Social Security and Medicare. A little bit of pain. Look, they're upset about the deficit. And so, they don't want they want Trump to be in office so they can get those tax cuts. So, of course, the only answer then is to cut social services.